Enshrouded's new water update comes with some epic new adventures, but especially challenges with the introduction of water and oxygen. Thank God the devs hid some secret items across the world to ease your journeys to riches with also delicious coffee. In today's complete guide, I'm gonna share how to get your hands on all these essentials, from the Diving Helmet and Swimfins to the coffee stations, including all 3 recipes, for easier underwater exploration and how you can get the most out of your adventures with any build. Let's dive in. The water update comes with a lot of additions, but also changes to Enshrouded, so it's literally an entirely new game. I'd say the perfect time to rediscover it together with friends on a server. G-Portal is my go-to choice for any game server because of their competitive pricing, zero lag and constant uptime. Even better, as partner I can give you a sweet discount on their servers, so be sure to check out my link in the description down below and support my work while you're at it. Cheers! Let's start off with the Swimfins, which will make travel underwater so much easier, with a 30% increased swim speed, but also reduced wet duration and stamina regen. For these, you want to check out probably one of the biggest towns in the game, called Gold Rock Saddle, which can be found a little bit north of the Ancient Spire. This is one of the few items in this guide for which I do recommend you to come prepared, with a strengthened flame on maximum level so you can pass the deadly shroud. I already have a guide for all the essential items which you can find in the top right of the screen, and get your hands on these a whole lot easier. Once you've arrived at the town, you want to search for the underground tunnel system, which can be easily accessed from this exact location, which is, well, a little bit east of the Gold Rock Saddle icon itself. Simply walk down there, where you will find many drag, but take out your axe and start chopping down the blockade right here. Walk all the way down into the shroud. Right now, what we're gonna do is search for a way that goes down even further. Just follow the path right here and walk straight ahead. This is the deadly shroud I was talking about, but if you quickly just run to the other side, it will bring you to a door which you can quickly open with a lockpick. Open the chest and bam, there you will find the Swimfins. Do this fast and you can bypass the deadly shroud, get your hands on the item quickly, while if you wanna take the time to get your hands on this treasure, simply take out the bigger plant in the center, as this one will basically spawn all the tentacles that can be super annoying to deal with. So that was it for the Swimfins. Now let's move on to my base a little bit more in the northwestern part of the basin for the Diving Helmet, as this one is essential for underwater exploration and getting your hands on the most valuable treasures. It also brings us to one of my favorite Dragdoll temples, as yes, in the middle of Starfish Shores, you can find this one right here. Also west of the fish farm, where I have my base set up. I'm gonna be honest, the method to securing this item is pretty cheesy, and ouch, that was a pretty deep fall. You might have to deal with some drag first, but sweet, you just dropped the pearl. All we have to do right here is simply take out our pickaxe and start mining, for which I recommend you to hit the side, so not the metal itself. Then it's going to be pretty easy to find an entrance. Right now, all you need to do is swim to the center of the massive gold pile, search the corpse, and bam! That's all you need to do for it, which comes with a whopping plus 60 oxygen, or an entire minute of extra underwater time. If you combine that with the Swimfins, you can tell that right now we become super swift underwater, and even cooler, you will also see much more in the dark, which is gonna make underwater treasure hunting a walk in the park, especially if you combine it with some sweet oxygen snacks, which you can make at the new seafood grill. Oh, guys, if you found a way how you can make a smoked or seared fish fillet, that would be awesome to share with us, as this recipe comes with another plus 60 oxygen, which means, yeah, you become unstoppable underwater. And what I think is amazing about the new Diving Helmet and Mining Helmet, which I talk about in another video, is that right now we no longer have to rely on fire to light up the darkness. With nothing equipped, you see that it becomes pitch black. With a Miner Helmet, that's number 7 right here, see, we get this nice light blue effect. And with the Diving Helmet, it's a little bit greener. This one actually comes with a wider arc of light, so this is going to become perfect for discovering underwater locations. With the mining, you can focus more with a higher range, let's say, which is easier on the eyes, I'd say, if you're mining. So both cases, I think it's an amazing addition to the game that comes with some beautiful lighting effects. Anyways, let's move on to making some delicious coffee, which can be beneficial for all different types of builds. For which you first need to get your hands on the stations themselves and recipes. You want to make your way to Stillwater Bay, located a little bit west of the Little Lagoon. A beautiful area for fishing, while this one also tucked in the Shroud. You want to be careful for it, as if you haven't strengthened your flame yet, it's gonna be a deadly zone. I very much recommend you to wait till darkness, as this is going to make it so much easier to spot all the things you can pick up right here, while it's also not a bad idea to check out this watchtower right here, pick up the checkpoint, because if something goes sideways, you will have very quick access to the town as well. So we're starting from this exact spot. The first thing I want you to do is fly to the biggest watchtower in the town, basically. You can already see lights emitted from the roof. I think you don't even need the Flame Shrine upgrade, as you can just simply break the roof right here and instantly gain access to all the essentials for coffee making. Voila! So right here we have our coffee drum roaster and also the coffee brewery itself, which, as you can see, are not inside the shrouds, which are at this exact location. The next thing we're gonna do is pick up our first recipe by simply jumping down and follow the light, which is right here, for which we're gonna need a lockpick, or if you want, just bash open the door with brute force. Walk in there, watch out for this guy. After you've dealt with him, you wanna walk up the stairs towards the north, climb up this thing, turn around 180 degrees, and bam! This is where you should be able to find a little document with the black coffee recipe, which is an amazing one for tanks or melee builds in general. And get back to the checkpoint, as from this spot it's going to be much easier to reach the other two recipes. For the first one, you want to be very close to the Stillwater Bay icon itself. You simply want to reach this roof right here. This is where you should be able to find it. Not, I think, on the bottom floor. So what we're going to do is simply break the roof right here towards the west. And there it is on the table. If you read it, you will unlock the latte recipe. Let's get back to the center of the town for that final recipe right now, which you can find a little bit more in the north. So we're going to jump across right here. And look to that light right there. We've got even more of them close to this lava source. And instead of walking up the stairs or steps, you want to walk down this basement, basically. I don't think you have a lot of enemies right here. And I can't remember where exactly the door to this thing is. But the easiest way to get inside, I think, is just walking around, double jump. And voila, this will bring us to a table where you can read the final note and unlock the Sweet Mokka. Tip for the devs, right here it says Sweet Mokka, and at the bottom Sweet Mokka. Anyways, now that we've unlocked everything we need, it's time to brew ourselves some delicious coffee. Inside the roaster itself, you're gonna have to place raw coffee beans and palm wood logs, which are pretty easy to get your hands on once you know where to farm them. While for the coffee brewer, you're gonna need ground coffee beans, gold coins, and other types of resources, depending on the recipe you wanna brew. The black coffee, again, is going to be amazing for melee builds with increased stamina and melee damage. The latte comes with magical damage, and the Sweet Mokka itself is nice for ranger or assassin builds. So let me quickly cover all the resources you're going to need for these. Well, it's also important to know that the coffee itself has to be grounded first, for which you need a working mill. Also made a guide for this previously. Change the recipe right here and go for the ground coffee. That's where you're gonna also throw in Veilwater Basin sand. All you need to do is take out your pickaxe and start mining on the beaches. This will give you the exact resources you need. Well, for the palm wood, yeah, you simply want to break some palm trees. This is gonna give you everything you need. For the coffee beans themselves, I very much recommend you to have a farm up and running with all these plants. One particular farm at the start of the Veilwater Basin is amazing to pick up coffee early, near the Dragon Dream Lake, which we're flying across right now, which is exactly right there, called the Winter's Brew Farm. It's a peaceful place with also a nice hobbit door. I recommend you to chop down every single one of them so you can start planting your own trees eventually. They will automatically regrow after some time as well, so you can always revisit this place later. So Winter's Brew Farm, just a little bit west of the old Hag's Hut, which by the way is an amazing place to make your first base. This is something I talked about in my previous video as well, because yeah, this comes with a beautiful farm where you can just set up everything you need for the early days in the basin. The first floor right here comes with a nice spot where you can place some townsfolk, a balcony, and even better, if you place your flame shrine in a pretty tactical way. Let me take out my hammer. You can see that, well, my building extends all the way to this border right here, so I can always pick up this treasure chest. Let's see what's inside. Nothing too fancy this time, but there is a high chance it comes with legendary loot. There is a beautiful basement with everything you need right here. So yes, definitely things to think about if you want to have an easy and beautiful base for your adventures. For fresh milk, you want to befriend some goats, so you can place them in your base and they will start producing the resource, which can be picked up pretty easily if you just make your way to the very starter part of Enshrouded's beautiful world. I think we should be able to locate some of them right here. Voila! If you want to tame and breed animals like a boss, I already have an ultimate guide for that, which you can find in the top right of the screen that covers pretty much every single one of them. Anyways, last but not least, gold coins. For these, I very much recommend you to check out Dragdoll temples, as they're usually filled with the shinies. This is actually my absolute favorite temple in the game, which I also plan to transform into my own future base. Stay tuned for that video, but if we walk in here, you can see that there are many piles of gold coins, so you can get your hands on this resource as much as you like. Even better, at this exact spot, if you start mining, you can even secure one of the new exclusive building blocks, the Drag Temple roof block. So as bonus, let me quickly share with you where exactly you can find it. It's this Dragdoll temple right here, just a little bit east of the Flame Shrine, also southeast of the ancient spire of Lake Heartblood. Alright, so there you have it, everything you need to make your adventures a whole lot easier in the Wake of Water update. If you enjoyed the content, it would mean the world to me if you can spare 1 second of your time and hit that like button, as you have no idea how much it helps out the channel. Leave a comment with your favorite coffee, questions, thoughts or suggestions for future videos. Right now though, it's 4 AM out. I want to wish you an amazing day. Good luck on all your adventures. I'll check you in the next video or live stream. Peace.